Have you ever felt frustrated by those nighttime blood sugar spikes that appear even on the days when you follow every rule and try your absolute best to protect your health? Many seniors say the same thing, waking up confused and discouraged because the numbers never match their effort, no matter how careful they are. That confusion creates fear around evening foods and steals the sense of control people desperately want back. It becomes a quiet battle inside the night. There was a woman who told me she felt powerless every morning because she tried so hard to make the right choices, yet still woke up with higher glucose than she expected. She wondered if her medication was losing strength or if her age was working against her, and those thoughts made her feel even more unsettled. She didn't know where else to look for answers. All she wanted was one clear explanation that finally made sense. She would sit down after dinner believing she was choosing safe foods, convinced she was doing everything right for her diabetes. She felt she had followed every rule, avoided desserts, and eaten early enough to stay balanced. But nothing changed, and the numbers kept rising the next morning. She needed clarity, not more confusion. Stop believing every healthy label. The truth she didn't know was hidden in two fruits she loved eating at night, grapes and mango. They seemed light, refreshing, gentle, and far safer than any dessert she could have chosen. But once the sun goes down, a diabetic metabolism slows dramatically, and these fruits hit the bloodstream faster than the body can handle. What feels innocent becomes the exact trigger for nighttime spikes. Most seniors never realize how different the body behaves after sunset, when digestion slows and the insulin response becomes weaker. Even natural sugar can climb faster and stay higher for longer during the night, creating unpredictable readings by morning. And because these foods look healthy, people rarely suspect them. The result is confusion that lasts for months or even years. This woman told me she loved snacking on these fruits because they felt clean and natural, something she believed supported her health rather than harmed it. But she didn't know how much sugar they carry per bite, or how rapidly that sugar moves through her system when eaten late. It was like she was unknowingly creating the spikes she feared. Do not trust how light a food feels. One of the biggest problems is how easy it is to overeat grapes or mango without noticing, especially in the evening when people relax and snack while watching television. These fruits digest quickly, raising blood sugar with surprising speed at a time when the body is least prepared. Even small servings can create big reactions. Speed is the real enemy at night. She said she often felt thirsty or heavy before bed without knowing the reason, assuming it was stress or age. But once she removed grapes and mango from her evening routine, those symptoms disappeared almost immediately. Her nights felt calmer, her mornings were brighter, and her numbers finally made sense again. I am stronger than this diabetes chaos. Many seniors blame themselves for these spikes, thinking they failed their routine when in reality they were simply missing one key piece of knowledge. Nighttime glucose control isn't just about avoiding desserts. It's about understanding how fast sugar foods behave when the body is slowing down. Knowing this removes guilt and replaces it with confidence. The most shocking part for her was how quickly her mornings improved. She didn't change her medication, her dinner, or her schedule. She only changed the timing of these fruits. In less than a week, her glucose stabilized, her energy improved, and she felt hope returning. A single shift transformed everything. Her friends were surprised when she shared her experience because many of them also ate these fruits at night, thinking they were safe for diabetes. They had no idea the difference between day digestion and night digestion, or how timing influences sugar behavior. Once they tried the same adjustment, they saw improvements too. This pattern repeats everywhere. She encouraged them to test it for just a few days, and they all noticed calmer mornings and fewer unexplained spikes. It wasn't a miracle. It was simply biology working the way it was meant to. When you stop fighting your nighttime metabolism, your body finally gets a chance to rest. Better nights build better days. Her mornings became more predictable, and that stability gave her a sense of control she had been missing for a long time. She no longer felt defeated by her own numbers. Instead, she felt empowered by the knowledge she finally gained. Write "I am stronger than my diabetes" in the comments. She said that knowing this earlier would have saved her months of fear and frustration, because not understanding your own body can be emotionally exhausting. But once she understood the truth, she felt lighter, calmer, and more confident. Knowledge removes fear and replaces it with direction, Her sleep improved dramatically once her nighttime sugar stopped rising, because stable glucose at night helps the body fall into deeper, more restorative rest. She woke up refreshed instead of drained, and that alone changed the way her entire day felt. Good nights create strong mornings. She also became more confident choosing snacks after she understood how her metabolism behaves after sunset. She no longer worried about making accidental mistakes or sabotaging her own effort. That confidence made her evenings feel easier and safer. Confidence is medicine for the mind. Grapes and mango can absolutely be part of a healthy diabetic routine when eaten earlier in the day, when digestion is stronger and the body can process natural sugar more efficiently. But at night they move too fast, act too strong, and demand too much from the body. The timing changes everything. She learned that the issue wasn't the fruit itself, but the moment she chose to eat it. When she shifted these fruits to the daytime, she could still enjoy them without suffering from those frustrating morning numbers. It was a small adjustment with a huge result. Timing is power. Once her nighttime sugar stopped rising, she regained a sense of control she hadn't felt in months. Her morning stopped being a guessing game, and she felt proud of her progress instead of disappointed. That emotional relief restored her motivation and hope. Hope fuels discipline. She now tells everyone in her diabetes support group to question their evening fruit habits, because even natural foods can behave aggressively at night. She wants others to avoid the confusion she experienced. Awareness protects your future more than any rule ever can. Grapes and mango are wonderful fruits, but only at the right time of day for a diabetic body. At night they simply demand too much fast processing, and the body cannot keep up. Removing them after sunset prevents many unnecessary spikes and builds long-term stability. Protect your nights. She says her life became calmer and more predictable when she stopped fighting her own numbers, and she finally felt like she had a healthier relationship with her food and her routine. That emotional peace became just as valuable as the physical results. Peace reduces stress, and if you've ever felt confused by nighttime numbers that don't match your effort, this story may be the missing piece you've been searching for. A single change can transform your nights, your mornings, and your confidence in your own body. And the next fruit may surprise you even more. Because in the next part, we'll talk about the third fruit that silently pushes nighttime glucose even higher. A fruit millions of seniors eat without realizing how powerful it truly is. And once you understand all three, your nights will finally make sense. Many seniors believe that if their daytime sugar stays under control, the nighttime numbers should follow the same pattern. But that's not how a diabetic metabolism behaves when the body begins to slow down. The night has its own rules, and those rules can feel unfair when you think you're doing everything right. Understanding these rules changes the entire game, and tonight we go even deeper into the foods that quietly break them. What surprises most people is that natural foods can create some of the strongest spikes when eaten at the wrong time, especially close to bedtime. Seniors often underestimate the impact, because fruit feels harmless and familiar, something they've eaten their whole lives. But diabetes changes how the body responds in the dark. What worked at age 40 doesn't work the same at age 70. Stop trusting old habits. You already learned how grapes and mango behave after sunset, but the third fruit might surprise you even more because many consider it the safest option for a quick snack. This fruit is soft, convenient, easy to digest, and often recommended during the day. But the nighttime window transforms it from helpful to harmful, and most seniors never realize it until their numbers tell the truth. That fruit is the banana, and while it's nutritious and comforting, its natural sugar content becomes a challenge when the body's insulin response is slower at night. Bananas deliver a steady but powerful rise in glucose that the nighttime metabolism struggles to handle. And because the fruit feels gentle, seniors rarely suspect it. Soft does not mean safe after sunset. Bananas digest quickly, which means the sugar enters the bloodstream faster than many expect, especially when eaten as a simple bedtime snack. Seniors often choose them because they're easy to chew, easy to prepare, and easy on the stomach. But diabetes does not respond to convenience, it responds to timing, and timing determines whether this fruit helps or harms. Many people think bananas are slow sugar, but at night they behave differently because the body isn't processing food with the same strength. Digestion slows down, the pancreas becomes less efficient, and even normal sugar levels can push higher under nighttime conditions. Once the body slows, the food moves faster than the system behind it. That imbalance creates the morning surprise. What makes this even more complicated is how often bananas are paired with other evening foods like oatmeal or yogurt, which makes the spike even stronger. Seniors combine foods thinking they are creating something healthy, not realizing they're stacking sugars together. The intention is good, but the result can be harmful. Good intentions do not protect your numbers. The challenge with all three fruits, grapes, mango, and banana, is not their quality, but their speed. They move quickly, digest quickly, and reach the bloodstream before the body is ready to handle them. During the day, this speed is manageable, but at night it becomes an obstacle. A tired metabolism cannot fight fast sugar without consequences. Seniors often tell me they only had one banana or a handful of grapes, as if the portion size should automatically make it safe. But diabetes is not about the appearance of the food. It's about how it behaves in the bloodstream. Even small amounts of fast sugar can push glucose up at night. The mistake is in trusting the image of the fruit, not its impact. And many seniors choose fruit at night because they fear making worse choices, believing fruit is the safest backup option available. But diabetes requires a different kind of thinking, one based on timing and behavior rather than labeling. The wrong food at the wrong hour becomes the right food at the wrong moment, and the moment matters more than the food. What shocked the seniors who tried removing these fruits after sunset was how quickly the body responded. Their mornings became calmer, their numbers more predictable, and their confidence slowly returned. They were not failing, they were simply missing one small piece of knowledge. Knowledge is the strongest medicine of all. One man said he had given up hope because he thought morning spikes meant he was getting worse, but when he shifted bananas and grapes to the morning, his readings completely changed. It wasn't his medication, it wasn't his age, it was his timing. Timing was the key he didn't know he needed, and once he found it, everything felt possible again. Another woman said she felt lighter emotionally because she finally understood the cause behind the unpredictable mornings that discouraged her for months. Her frustration turned into clarity, and clarity turned into relief. When you understand your body, you stop blaming yourself. Write "I refuse to let diabetes control my nights" in the comments. Grapes, mango, and banana all have one thing in common. They release sugar quickly, and that quick release works against the slower nighttime metabolism. Seniors often confuse digestion speed with sugar amount, but the real danger is how fast the sugar enters the bloodstream. Speed is silent, invisible, and relentless, and silence can be dangerous. Some seniors say they feel sleepy after eating these fruits at night, and they believe that feeling is harmless, but that drowsiness often signals a sugar fluctuation happening silently. It's the body responding to a fast rise it wasn't prepared to handle. When the rise slows your mind, the morning reveals the truth. Your numbers tell the story your body felt. The mistake is not in eating fruit. Fruit can be beneficial. The mistake is eating these specific fruits at the wrong moment, when the body is most vulnerable. Once seniors understand this, their evenings change dramatically, bringing more peace and fewer doubts about what is safe. And fewer doubts mean fewer emotional battles. Peace stabilizes the mind. One woman told me that once she understood the behavior of these fruits, she finally felt like she had a map instead of wandering blind. She felt empowered instead of scared. That empowerment helped her build better habits without feeling overwhelmed. Empowerment changes the direction of your health. Confidence changes everything. These three fruits can still be enjoyed, but earlier in the day, when digestion is stronger and the body can manage sugar more efficiently. That simple shift removes chaos and brings stability, something every senior deserves. Stability leads to healthier mornings and calmer evenings. Calm becomes your ally instead of your challenge. Some seniors say they finally feel hopeful again because they now understand why their numbers behaved so strangely. They no longer feel betrayed by their own bodies. They feel informed and prepared. That emotional lift becomes just as important as any physical improvement. Hope strengthens discipline. Discipline strengthens results. Once these fruits are moved to the morning or early afternoon, nighttime numbers become much easier to manage. Seniors feel more relaxed after dinner because they trust their choices and understand their metabolism better. Awareness turns fear into control, and control turns chaos into progress. The goal is not to remove fruit from your life. The goal is to protect your nights, your mornings, and your energy. When the body isn't fighting fast spikes in the dark, it finds balance more easily. Balance creates momentum. Momentum creates better days. Better days build better health. And if you've ever felt confused by morning spikes that didn't match your effort, understanding the behavior of grapes, mango, and banana at night might be the missing key. This knowledge brings power, confidence, and freedom. Freedom from the fear of waking up discouraged. Freedom from unpredictable numbers. But there's something even more surprising coming next. Something seniors rarely talk about, but experience every day without noticing its hidden effect on nighttime sugar. And once you learn this next piece, your entire evening routine will make sense in a way it never has before. Because the next habit isn't fruit at all, and yet it quietly affects millions of diabetics every night without them realizing it. And understanding this final piece may be the biggest breakthrough of all. There's one nighttime habit almost every senior with diabetes overlooks, even though it quietly raises blood sugar more than most people realize. It has nothing to do with food, nothing to do with fruit, and nothing to do with medication schedules. It's something so ordinary that people don't even consider it part of their routine. But for a diabetic body, it matters. That habit is eating anything after the body has already begun slowing down for the night, even small innocent bites that feel harmless. Many seniors don't know that the body starts shifting into rest mode hours before they actually fall asleep. Digestion slows, insulin response weakens, and the system prepares for restoration, not processing. So even taking just a few bites of something, a cracker, a spoon of yogurt, a small piece of fruit, a late-night snack taken without thinking, becomes enough to disrupt nighttime glucose. The problem isn't the snack itself, it's the timing. Late eating forces the body to restart processes it already shut down, causing sugar to rise quickly and stay elevated longer than expected. Most seniors say, "It was just a little something," believing the portion was too small to matter. But at night, portion size stops being the main issue. The slowing metabolism makes any sugar or carbohydrate move faster than the body can handle. That's why so many wake up confused, wondering why their morning glucose seems higher than their evening effort. The truth is simple. Even tiny nighttime snacks can work against them. If you want calmer nights, steadier mornings, and more confidence in your routine, timing is one of the strongest tools you can use. And to make it even easier, I'm leaving another video on the screen right now. One that shows practical, everyday habits that help stabilize diabetes naturally. Go ahead and click it because the next step starts there.